Cash Nation, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. So, a lot of you have questions and y'all want answers. I understand that about where I've been, what's going on, rebrand, new stuff is happening, new schedule. We'll get into that much more this Saturday, August 2nd. But for right now, let's talk about Fantastic Four First Steps. Now, I'm going to be honest, as I always do. The very beginning of this year, I talked about the casting of the people, Pedro, Vanessa, Joseph, Ebon. Didn't care for the casting at all. Be honest, I didn't care for it at all. I thought that Vanessa, through my limited experience, is a terrible actress. Again, limited, right? Pedro, just don't bother, right? Ebon, yes. And Joseph Quinn, I was like, well, this could work out. This could be a bombshell. This could be good or bad. We'll have to wait and see. But first trailer dropped, wasn't impressed. I reacted to the other two trailers a couple days ago, right? People be on social media hyping this movie up. I'm like, no, looks terrible, looks god awful. So then I decided to go with Papa Cash and Jaren to watch this film. Number one, I want to get this out of the way right now because I saw it on Instagram. No, I saw it on Twitter. You do not need to do any homework to watch this film. Or time. You do not need to watch any movie in general before watching this film. You don't need to watch Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, the older movie, Fan4tastic. None of those movies you need to watch, okay? The only thing you need to watch is this movie because it does, like the first Fantastic Four movie that came out a couple years ago with Jessica Alba, Chris Evans, Ion Gilford, I apologize if I said the name wrong. That movie does show what is not shown in this movie. That's the only thing I can think of that matters, right? It shows them going to space. Again, that movie, not this movie, shows them going to space, shows them gaining their powers, experiencing their powers, getting the hang of it and everything else, right? It is not done in this movie. In this movie, you've seen it. The first 5 minutes, which is they go into space, audio-wise, you hear what happens, and then Reed Richards goes, and there was some anomalies. We meet the Thing, Vanessa, Sue Storm, Joseph Quinn, Human Torch, and of course, Pedro Pascal, Reed Richards. Okay, so I love this movie. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna be around the bush. I love this movie. I've only seen it one time. Overall, I enjoy the cast. I enjoy the visuals. The only thing about this movie, and it's not the movie's fault, I didn't like was that I watched this at an IMAX 3D experience, right? And you're probably wondering, well, why is that a bad thing? Because I wore the 3D glasses on top of my prescription glasses. These glasses are not for style, are not a prop. These are real prescription glasses. I am a far-sighted person, which means long distance wise, I can't see very well. Like if I take the glasses off, it's all blurry to me. Like if Ginger or the Misfits wore a t-shirt with small lettering, I can't read it. Like if Ginger was in front of me, I could see the texture of his body, but his physical features, I can't really see that well, right? So that's the only thing I didn't like, was that I had to wear 3D glasses, which I don't like to do. I don't watch any movie in 3D, okay? I pretty much enjoyed all the characters in this film. I do agree with Jaren that there was some moments where there was some dialogue that was kind of iffy, kind of clunky, where Sue Storm in the trailer just goes, hey y'all, that was my brother Johnny, he's single and all that. I'm like, we don't need that in the film, Some have said that they didn't like the fact that there was action in the film, didn't mind it at all whatsoever. They don't like the fact of how Galactus is defeated, which it is what it is to me, They also don't like the fact, and I said this, that the Thing in the movie isn't given much. They try to give him something, but it's not fully fleshed out. That makes sense, right? I won't go into spoilers by any means, but I mean, someone in the film and him interact a couple times. They're trying to maybe build something up while waiting to see in the future, of course. Fantastic Four and Superman do the same thing in this film, to where when the movie starts, they don't give you an origin story. They tell you what happens, and you're thrown right into the action, right? The reason why this movie to me is better, and I'm gonna give you straight truth, is because this movie stays in one lane on one ride the whole time, right? To where Things make sense. Things are coherent. None of this movie is bloated, has too much going on. There's some small subplots, and two of the subplots, they're good. They're great, actually, you know? Like, it's like, okay, cool. This thing with Johnny, I loved it. Thing with Ben Grimm, cool, you know? Nothing felt forced. Nothing felt extra to me. I think this movie could have been an extra 20, 30 minutes long, to be honest with you. The difference with me between this and Superman is that every character in this movie got a chance to shine. Every character in this movie was able to fight on their own, was able to show out their abilities good and well. They worked really good as a team, right? To where I loved how Johnny uses his powers to do certain things, same for Sue, for a thing, and of course, Reed. This film, the villain specifically, I loved because unlike a Superman, this villain stands on business, right? He sends his minion, the Herald, to do certain things. When it comes time to take care of business, he does. You know, you don't see the Herald going after the Fantastic Four, trying to kill them. No, she is simply there to warn them what's going to happen. And then he shows up. He's like, "What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? What's going on here? Oh, you got that? You got this? You got that? I'm gonna take care from you." And Superman, it's the opposite. It's the fact that this bald guy doesn't like Superman, decides he wants to send his minions after him instead of himself. So enough of that, of course. The visuals in this film, I loved so much. Certain shots in the film didn't look right to me, of course. Some CGI was a bit spotty, of course, but overall, you know, the space sequences. I remember the first 5 minutes in this film, I was just like, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, a part of me still had in my mind Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, the two big things I don't like. I said to myself, you know what we're gonna do? Put it down. Put it down. Because otherwise, you're not going to be able to enjoy the film. So guess what I did? I put it down. And guess what? Because of that, I was able to just let the film do its thing and enjoy it and let me judge it for myself. I appreciate the fact that in this movie, Johnny is not just a guy that causes problems similar to Chris Evans' Johnny Torch. To where in that film, he's a womanizer, causes trouble, he's trying to be comedic relief. In this film, Joseph Quinn is actually smart. Who knew? I didn't know. Are you kidding me? Who knew, you know? And I love too how he is so smart, but he's not given the time of day by the family. But he does get his moment to shine in a specific scene where it's like, Reed has something going on. Johnny's like, hey, listen, I can take care of this on my own and do this on my own. And guess what? He does. I really, really like that a lot. Sue, I enjoyed her a lot. She's the heart of the family. She's the one that takes care of everything. She's a spokesperson. She's a public figure. But she's a very important person in this film. The film mostly hangs on her shoulders. You know, without her, it doesn't work. It's a balancing act between the three characters, and a good one. Reed Richards, smartest man in the world. You know, he has the burden of so much knowledge. It's to the point where he has so many bad and negative thoughts because of all the knowledge he has in his mind. Some of it can be helpful, other times it might not be. Harold, Silver Surfer, Shia LaBeouf. Let's talk about her for a second. She was cool. I thought her dialogue would be terrible, and it wasn't. She does the Harold this, I Harold this, but she explains herself. She, you know, tries to do certain things in the film, wrong and right reasons, of course. And I love it too how we get her backstory of how she became the Silver Surfer. And I was wrong. I was wrong. I'll admit it. I was wrong. In my ad-theater reaction, I called her an alien. I called her an alien because I did not know about her origin until this film showed me she's not an alien. Maybe she is, but to me, she's just human from another planet, right? Galactus. People have spoken about how we don't get much of him. I agree with that, unfortunately. I wish we got more of him. I really, really wish we got to understand where he comes from, how he became who he is, but he is terrifying on screen, and I enjoyed how he is smart in the film, of course. You know, a dumb villain that comes in and gets knocked down like the first 5 seconds, right? The way that Galactus was defeated, without giving away spoilers for the time being. People have said they thought it was too long, too easy, too much of a coincidence. And I just want to say this right now. It makes sense. I liked it. I had no problems with it. Do I think that it could have been built up better and done better in execution? Absolutely, you know? Do I think there were certain ideas that were dumb? Why are we doing this with that if we know we could scan the entire area with this thing, right? You know what I'm saying? And the post-credit scene, I knew about the post-credit scene literally 3 months ago. 3 to 4 months ago, there was a test screening that took place in which I discovered and learned about the post-credit scene. In my spoiler review, which will be coming up in a couple minutes, I will talk about what it is and how I feel about it. I will say this right now. This is one of my favorite movies of the year. I enjoyed it a lot. I loved it a lot. I think this is the best Fantastic Four film we've ever gotten. Period. Bottom line. I'm excited to see where this universe, where this family goes from here on out. Hope we get to see more of them, which we will in Doomsday, of course. I'm just excited for the future, what it holds. I really am. So I give Fantastic Four First Steps 8 out of $10 bills. Possibly a top seller. Possibly my top 10 favorite movies of the year. We'll have to wait and see, of course. But Cash Nation, please do me a favor and give me your thoughts down below. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Why or why not? And of course, who was your favorite character in the film? Before I forget, Paul Walter Hauser is in the film as Mole Man. I'll be honest, forgettable. I'm sorry. No offense to the actor who played him, by all means. I mean, with what they gave him to do in the film, what can you do, right? Like, he's probably in like 3 to 4 scenes. He's not in the trailer, of course, because why would he be? Natasha Lyonne, forgettable. Sorry. I have one nitpick. Natasha Lyonne, I don't know if this is done for a specific reason or not. There was one thing about her character that annoyed the piss out of me. That is either her fake lashes or her horrible mascara. Like, the minute she comes on screen and I saw her lashes, I'm like, my God, ew. Like, I hate lashes. I'm sorry. I just do. Overall, movie was well paced. I didn't want to see the time. I didn't want to know what time it was because I was so engaged with this film. This is easily the best Marvel film that Marvel's put out this year. In fact, the last couple of years. I would do again First Steps, Thunderbolts, Brave New World, Superman. So, Cash Nation, that is my non-spoiler thoughts on the film. Thank you for watching. Stick around briefly for my spoiler thoughts. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Alright, you stayed around for the spoilers, so let's talk about spoilers. I dislike the fact that in the third act of the film, we basically have it to where they're trying to trap Galactus in this thing that's going to teleport him somewhere else. They did decide to move Baby Franklin from the middle of the city to the Baxter building. We already know he's able to use his scanner thing to read heat signatures, right? So I'm like, hey, if you know you can do that, why do you not think you would not do that in the first place when he gets close enough to the baby? But okay, is the baby right here or is it somewhere else, you know? Number 2, post-credit scene. What is post-credit scene? It's basically Doom. To give it to you simply, post-credit scene is Franklin and Sue are reading a book. She goes to get another book, comes back. Doom is holding Franklin in his arm, the mask off. We don't see a face, but we know it's Doom because of the way he looks, of course, right? My biggest question is, this film, the Fantastic Four, don't leave the Earth. So who is in the ship in the Thunderbolts post-credit scene? That's what I want to know, right? My other issue is just the fact that I wish the thing I'm more to do, like, he's trying to see this girl played by Natasha Lyonne. There might be something there that's built up later on in the future, but for me personally, I wish we got to see a side to where it's like he is bullied, attacked. How does he deal with that? How does he truly feel about being a rock monster with people, right? We didn't get much of that in the film, unfortunately. I really appreciate the fact that Johnny took the time to listen to the audio recordings to essentially learn the Silver Surfer's language, help her, speak to her, and get her on their side, of course. Pretty much all I can say spoiler-wise. I had nothing else, really. I'm super tired. And of course, thank you for watching. It's been like 4 days since I see the film. Haven't seen it recently, so I want to record this review right now before it leaves my mind. You're awesome. Peace.